Hey, you chickadees. I'm Lee Rooster, and you're in the hen house. I woke up this morning, got my cup of coffee, and said, we've got a roadmap update. Let's dig into it and see what we can expect. We haven't had one since October, and now we've got a new one here for March, the roadmap update for March 2022. So we'll check and see what they have to say. We're not going to read it word for word, but we're going to go through and talk about anything we can pick up and glean from it, as well as the big points as well. So let's dig into this with a quick video. All right, here we go over into the roadmap. Nice pictures, enterprises, etc. They're saying, of course, that they wanted to share more news, etc. Said since the last roadmap update they mentioned the ship cloaking, which we've seen that get developed, officer presets, which we need more of them for free. The syndicate, which is an interesting faction option that has a lot of nice buffs. The second repair queue, which is something for sale. The extra dry dock, which is, as I call it, G Money dock, and much more. So they want to talk about the rest of this year, so the rest of 2022. All right, and they note details are subject to change, and the order and timing of the eventual release will change potentially, but it's a sneak peek. So some of this stuff, is going to be reworked and changed quite a bit, and some of it is pretty vague, but at least it gives us an idea of where they're going. So one of the big things they're talking about is below deck officers. You're like below deck officers. Of course, we talk a lot about as you get more into advanced officer and ship crewing, where your below deck officers really matter, and which features of officer abilities you are stacking below decks makes a big difference. They're going to blow this up more. It says, okay, being a deck officer, etc., yada yada yada. They say many officers below deck contribute just as much to the overall success, and the new below deck officers contribute. They may not have the best bridge abilities or synergies, but they can help and contribute with the lower deck section to give you that extra edge in battles. Coming soon to a starship near you. Let me get this up on the screen where you can see this indicator. Now, just as a point of reference, let's pop over and show you what it looks like right now in game. So here we are on one of my ships. All right, so we have the officers. Here's the below deck. Here is the captain maneuver, and the bridge officers in your attack scenario. So if we flip on back through Magic over here, all right, here we get this picture. So we can see the captain ability and the bridge officer abilities. Things to note in particular is this section right here, all right, which is the below deck officer slots. It looks like, and cute little throw out with the I'm a doctor, not a UI designer. All right, so below deck officers. Now, if we look, you notice that like Khan and Stamets have their officer badges highlighted or circled here. And as we look for Khan, there is a weapon damage type indicator, and for Stamets, there's some kind of cargo or protected cargo type of indicator going on. So we have to infer what's coming on here. It looks like, at least in some cases, some of these officers are going to have abilities that are below deck that might be able to proc out here and help us beef up the ships. Now, that does lend a lot more options to crewing and to kind of working on the meta and countering different ships and officer builds in PvP, TC, that kind of thing. So this could be interesting. We'll have to see. Does this also mean, a question I'll ask you, that we need to blow badges on officers that we wouldn't normally use them on? Because I think it might. I think we might need to blow those badges to raise those abilities up. So, but of course, we will see. And badges have gotten better sourced than they were in the beginning of the game. Hopefully, that will not be a huge bottleneck if that's the case. So let's look at that. But interesting thing, it makes it more useful. Now, also, will they work out below deck presets to match maybe with officer presets up above in order to make this easier once you start figuring out these optimal sets for certain ships and certain activities? Those will be important things to see that come out. All right, and they note the screenshot is a work in progress. It may be different. So, but this is an idea. At least gives us, this section is clearly indicating some kind of active activities going on tied to these two officers here. So, interesting. Server versus server features. Now, I've been excited about this and talking this on the stream on Twitch and on YouTube quite a bit in kind of speculation mode. So come join us and talk about it anyway. But let's look. They said in March we launched our first in-game server versus server events. We saw these things. They're looking to expand. We knew that they're doing some load testing and just making sure they don't break the game when they introduce this kind of stuff with those server cross leaderboard events, which have been kind of meh. But it's always felt like they're just stress testing, right, the game right now. So they said aside from the leaderboards and fun events between servers that we're looking to increase beyond 1v1, we're also working on a way for servers to physically invade one another and bring their ships temporarily to a new universe. These limited time events will put your server in alliance against other servers' alliances in direct epic space battles. Okay, this is exactly what we were talking about on the streams and in some of my earlier videos and all that, because I've experienced this in some other war games that did it well, and it was actually a lot of exciting fun. I'm excited about hearing this, and I want to know in your comments below what you're thinking about being able to port over temporarily, probably on a weekend when we got a lot of events going on, and we'll pop over. Maybe some free transports, limited transports, pop over into another server, do some activities like kill people, PvP. There's probably some mining, but mining in hostile territory where people are all trying to kill you is a lot different than just mining, especially if you bring in your ship and try to do PvP while you speed mine and getting extra points while you're mining, even something like par steal. Because you're stealing it from the other universe while you're also having to fight off a horde of oncoming attackers. That sounds like fun in limited doses at the very least. Let me know below what you think. So I'm looking forward to development of this for sure. And then the third big thing they're pushing is these alliance star bases. And so we get a picture of that, a little base. It says they're thinking, what about having a bigger space station? Alliance star bases. So this is like guild housing. All right, coming from other types of MMO games, which is a cool concept. Alliance starbases give alliances the ability to build and expand their very own space stations. Cool. Each alliance starbase will provide unique abilities, exclusive mining nodes, and extra defenses for each member's own bases. So that sounds like a hiving mechanic with boosted defense. Probably contributing. I would imagine you have to spend some of your resources in order to build these bases. It mentions unique abilities. It sounds a little bit like territory capture and territory. Can you only put them in TC land? Can you put them elsewhere? How do you determine who does that? Is that a new PvP mechanic? What exactly is going on here? This sounds neat. It may encourage hiving, which is its own thing, whether you like it or not. Let me know in the comments, especially from other games as well. But of course, I'll be interested in that. Can you go dock at your space station, recrew? I sure hope so. Remember, we're going to have Deep Space Nine's coming in. It seems like we should have space stations around. We should be able to dock, recrew, repair, different things like that. That are going to be kind of some quality of life improvements should come from the existence of some kinds of space stations. So it sounds like maybe we'll at least have an Alliance space station starbase, which I think they said the feature's in early development. So we're happy to hear great ideas and early feedback. So it says they don't necessarily know what they're doing with it yet, but they are planning it, and it's a work in progress. All right, and then they say the last thing they're bringing up is old and new Star Trek IP. All right, so they're mentioning there are a whole bunch of new shows coming out online and streaming and everything. The New Worlds and Prodigy's out, and other stuff's coming out with Discovery's doing different things. So they're talking about there's a lot of stuff that, shows and characters, Picard, of course, coming this year. And we can't wait to welcome them all. So they're saying that stuff's coming eventually. And then from the new shows to the top fan favorites of Star Trek's TV history. And then we have packed here with lots of new features, officer ships, missions, and much more. So I think it's just a shout out letting us know they're aware of all the new shows that are coming out, and they plan to incorporate them in some way at some time. But also we can expect them to continue to return to some of the old fan favorites. I mean, we are expecting Deep Space Nine to come soon, and I would like to see more TOS and TNG. Let me know what you're looking forward to, and put it down below. Anyway, this is just a brief look into the roadmap, and I wanted to share that with you this morning over my coffee. So I hope that helps. What is that? What gets you jazzed up about it? What's turning you off? Let me know. Remember to like this video and share it with your alliance. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you can know when I post another video. Always giving you news as well as live streaming weekly on Sunday mornings. and videos in my catalog in order to help people who are building up and learning how to take on new parts and mechanics of the game. So share those widely, and don't forget to subscribe. We're pushed over 600 subscribers, and that's because of your love and your support. Thank you. Pay no attention to the dog. Anyway, continue to subscribe. Thank you. Live long and prosper, and cock-a-doodle-doo.